Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season premiere of Quarter Blitz presented by Depot Street Sports. I'm here tonight joined with Raymond Saylor, Michael Rizzo, and Andrew French. Guys, how are we doing? We are getting into the football season here and getting going. We're a little bit early this year. We have things, to talk about. We're going to cover the AFC, NFC East this year. Different things going on, a lot of moves in these divisions. Fantasy football we're going to talk about, but I'm going to turn it over to you. But first and foremost, we have an announcement to make. We are bringing on a new show this year. It's going to be around women's sports, women athletes. We're going to have some interviews going on, people that we know, things of that nature. And this is going to be built like her. And it's going to be hosted by Addison Lund. She is a collegiate softball player, and she's out there. We interviewed her back earlier this year, actually. And she agreed to join the Depot Street Sports team. And she come up with the name Built Like Her, and that's going to be coming out soon. So we've got some big things coming, and glad to have her on the team here at Depot Street Sports.
Absolutely. She's going to be a big asset. Just to add on to a little bit of Michael, we can't go into too much detail yet, but she's got some really good stuff down the pipeline, guys. I know there's been a few onions on here that has been big for the interviews, the softball interviews that we were doing in the spring. If she's able to get some stuff worked out, stay tuned.
Guys, how are you doing? Rizzo, French.
Oh, doing good. Excited to get started back in the NFL. It's been a long time since we had some football, so we're getting closer and closer and closer. And kicking off on Addison, she's really good. Can't wait to get that started and get a little bit more women fan base into the podcast. I know a lot of girls that's on my Facebook. It's all about some softball, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking all things football with you guys again. It's been a while talking NFL, but finally swinging into the season for football. Really looking forward to it. It's been fun talking all things NASCAR the last couple months here, but when football season starts, everyone knows it's going to be a pretty good time. So when NASCAR starts to wane down, that's when football starts to ramp up, and really looking forward to it.
All right, let's start off today. How we're going to kind of go through this. Let's start off with the AFC East. You've got the Buffalo Bills, you have the Patriots, you have the Jets, and then you have Miami. So let's start it off on what I think is going to be probably one of the higher notes of this year. Let's start off on the Buffalo Bills. Give me your guys' thoughts on their season. How do you perceive them? Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of it and some player moves that they've had.
Well, I think I'll jump in here real quick. I mean, we got to talk about McDermott right off the bat here with Buffalo. Rizzo, he gets into the coaching, hiring and firing there, so I'm gonna shift that to him. I'll save that for him because I know he's got some thoughts on that. So I'm interested in hearing that. Overall, I'll just throw out there real quick. I've got the Bills still not falling much. I've got them out there at 14-3. Give or take a few of those games there. Couple of big ones. I've got them losing that first game against Baltimore. I hate to say that, but then I've got them going on a 9-game winning streak all the way until they see the Texans in Houston. I feel like they lose that game. Unfortunately, they go to Pittsburgh, but I feel like they will still be strong enough to win that game. This Buffalo team, with or without McDermott, I still think they're going to be a tough team. And I've got them right now at 14-3. So I do see them coming out of this division. To me, it's those. I mean, them and the Patriots. It's going to be a good battle. I did forget about the Patriots there in that division, but I'm interested in seeing it. But 14-3, I'll shut up.
Yeah, the Bills, they're also going to be the team I'm looking for. I think, honestly, I had the same prediction. I think they're going to be 14-3. Same thing. It's going to be between them and the Patriots this season. And I think it's going to come down to pretty much just the last game of the season there. The Jets play the Bills. The Bills play the Jets. That's a pretty good game. I'm sure that. And then the week prior to that, they play the Dolphins. I think they'll clinch the division against the Dolphins that week, rest their starters against the Jets, and then see if they get the first round bye. But yeah, you brought up the coaching staff with Sean McDermott no more as the head coach. I thought that was one of the most shocking things of the offseason. I didn't think he really should have been fired. I just don't think the team was built the way that this team should have been built. Now they hired Joe Brady as their new head coach. He was their offensive coordinator the last handful of years. He was a coach that was hot, that people wanted. Other teams wanted to interview. Other teams wanted to have him as their head coach. And the Bills noticed that. They noticed how they really weren't doing – they couldn't get over the hump with Sean McDermott. At least that's how they saw it. And they gave Sean Joe Brady a raise, if you will. He got a promotion to head coach. I'm interested to see what they do. Offense will look pretty similar. I don't think it will be anything different. Defense with the new defensive coordinator of Jim Leonard, who was the defensive pass game coordinator with the Broncos last 2 years. Interested to see what goes on there. I think the defense will definitely take a step back. But the offense, I think, will be just as good, if not better. They gained some weapons and DJ Moore. I think this is probably one of his best situations that he's been in. So just excited to see what this division brings. But I think this year the Bills get the job done.
I got a question for you right there, Rizzo. You were talking about McDermott there. Any audience guys can jump in here on this, actually, but it just something caught me there. Rizzo said, is he sort of being looked at as the James Franklin of the NFL because he loses in the playoffs every single year?
I think that's just the Jets, or not the Jets, but Buffalo, period. I think the team is cursed, not so much the head coach.
I was about to say they went to the Super Bowl, 3 years in a row, 5 years in a row, something like that. Yeah, and they didn't fire their coach then, but
I just think he was the right coach. I just don't think the GM and Brandon Beane did a good job of building the team around Josh Allen. He's never had a true. I mean, I guess he has. He had what's his name, blanking on his name. He had Diggs, but Diggs, that whole situation fell apart because they really didn't have much of a run game and they didn't have much of a defense, even though he's the defensive head coach. Last year, your defense was all right. It wasn't as good the previous 2 years, but your offense was just as better, if not better than the last 2 years. And they just had some bad luck. I guess maybe it's going to be completely different, and Joe Brady will bring in a different culture, different mentality. But, I mean, we'll see. I trust the Bills with their offseason acquisitions that they'll become the division winners again. I just think it's more the GM's fault with Brandon Beane, not Sean McDermott.
Yeah,
I'm there with you.
Go ahead, French. Yeah, take over there.
My thing is, you want to change the culture, but you bring in, you keep your offensive coordinator and you just bump him up to head coach. That's not going to be a change. The offensive scheme's still going to be the same. It's not going to change because he's been right there the entire time. I just don't think if it kind of reminds me, of Tennessee. They didn't want to throw out the money to bring in the help. Tennessee won't throw in the money to keep the help, but Buffalo won't throw out the money to bring in some big name targets. Some, he's got to have a wide receiver one. If you don't get at least a big name one to come in, I mean, Diggs is Diggs. He's going to make plays, but you can't rely on just one really good receiver out wide and expect to win ball game. So, in my opinion, maybe they should have looked at changing GMs instead of head coaches. Because McDermott's good. I mean, he's a winner. You can only go so far, and you can only win so many games against great talent until you run into a team that's got more talent than you do.
Yeah. I mean,
That's happened. That's happened year after year after year. Yeah. So you can't throw that on McDermott. So, I mean, I could be wrong. Joe Brady might come in and they might win it all. Who knows? But, they're going to have to do it.
I agree. I think late in the year, I think that Allen just runs out of steam, man. Him and Cook are exhausted by, 17th, 18th game.
Yeah, I mean, for me on this topic of coaches and everything is there's certain things that we just don't know that's happening in the locker room with the team and stuff like that. And we've even seen it. Being around the sport and everything, sometimes it's not necessarily that you need to change the culture fully, but there's that one guy that can make a big difference, that can change the aspect of everything. And maybe that is Joe Brady. Maybe that is. I agree with you all. They need to bring in a true number one and really develop in certain areas of that offense. But we've seen Baltimore go with a semi wide receiver one for a few years, and they've had a running game. They've found the quarterback, stuff like that in the past. So it can be done. I just don't know that it's going to come out of the East.
If that's going to be done, look at the difference in defenses there, though.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo is going to have to build a defense. Rizzo said it. I mean, they have to build a defense if they're going to rely heavily on the run game and 400 passing yards a game. They're going to have to get a defense in there.
I mean, I'm not saying that these guys are very big names, notable names, but they did go out and either re-sign or sign 5 safeties for that defense. One of them being Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They got a cornerback in D. Alford. They got an edge rusher in Bradley Chubb this year, signed him to 3 years, $43.5 million. So they did go out and get some pieces for that defense. Now, whether or not they're going to make the biggest impact right off the bat, I don't know. Some of them are a couple of veteran guys that's been in the league for a little while. We talked about that wide receiver room. They went out and got a very old DJ Moore. They got him from Chicago and a couple of pick swaps. I think that veteran role does help with the DJ Moore. He has been at Chicago. He's been at Carolina. He's not had a over-the-top career, but I think bringing somebody like that into the locker room may help them. You don't really hear as much issue out of DJ Moore as what maybe somebody else.
Branch, what you got him as?
I got him sitting at 14-3 myself. They, you look at, their schedule. I've got them actually beating Baltimore week 1 with their first loss coming to Kansas City at home. Got them getting beat by Kansas City at home. I actually picked to beat them in the Steel City, and got them getting beat when they go to New England.
No, I got the New England.
I've got them at 14-3 here. Also, Patriots, Cincinnati, and Kansas City. I think they split the New England game, and that's kind of one of the topics I know I'll get into. But guys, what other thoughts do you have here on Buffalo before we go on to the next team?
Just interested in seeing how that coaching change works out for them. I think that's going to be their biggest look like the outside looking in. That's what you got to notice.
I just don't think nothing's going to change, in my opinion.
Yeah, until they get a defense. I agree. I think they got to have a defense, get the offense off the field in the playoffs.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins. Rizzo, I really hate to do this to you, but I'm going to let you lead off the Dolphins.
Yeah, throw me over to the Dolphins. I think they're going to be really bad. I think they're going to be the worst team in this division by far. Arguably one of the worst teams in the NFL. I don't got you their record. I did not go through the records, but for them at least, I just knew they're going to lose a lot of games. They are just a really young team with a lot of holes, a brand new front office, brand new coaching staff with Jeff Hafley now as their head coach, and a lot of guys who are just there to prove themselves that they could be NFL caliber players. I think the expectation is let's get to 5 wins, see what we could happen there. But I mean, really, the main goal for the Dolphins is figuring out, like, just trying to establish the team. Really, I mean, they have no. If you ask me who the wide receiver 1 is on this roster, without me looking at the roster, I couldn't tell you. They traded away Jalen Waddle, which great move from them. They got a lot in return, and they're going to build the team up pretty well there. But just this team is going to be pretty bad for a little bit, and I think we're going to have to wait and see how this team develops with all the young guys they got. Malik Willis, I think you're trying to figure out, is he the guy? If not, you have a really nice quarterback draft class coming up next year. And to me, though, in this situation, I don't think Malik Willis will be that guy. He doesn't have the guys to throw to. This is not a good offensive system. I just, it's not a recipe for success. It's not going to go well, and they're going to end up drafting a guy next year pretty early within the first 3 picks, and he's going to be in the same exact situation. That's how I see this going.
Got to give a shout out to Shotgun there, coming in here with the Go Bills. So we got a Bills fan that we started off with today, guys. So shout out to Shotgun there. Appreciate the conversation.
Of course, he says go Bills. Shotgun, you've lost your mind.
Go for it, Rich. I'll let you take it second.
Yeah, this Miami team, you got A-Chain. That's all they've got. You look at the depth chart right now. It's showing Malik Willis is the 1, but that quarterback battle right there between him and Quinn Ewers is going to be pretty close. I think at the end of last year, if Ewers can stay healthy, they can show signs of improvement. I think, in my opinion, Ewers needs to be the 1. I don't think Malik can lead. He's a great backup. Well, let me rephrase it. He was a great backup in Green Bay. He wasn't very good in Nashville. But, A-Chain's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to be that one that, when it comes to fantasy football time, that's who you want, because that's who they're going to go to, because that's all they got.
They're going to put 8 in the box and shut him down.
It's true. That's true, but then you can slip him out because he's a great receiving back. So, you know, he's very versatile. He can do a little bit of everything. He can run the ball well. He catches it well coming out of the backfield. And all you got to do is throw it up to him and he'll go get it. I think about halfway through the season, when they turn out as bad as we know they're going to turn out, A-Chain might say, I want out. So, you know, that'll be something to watch about the middle of the season. I've got them finishing 4 and was it 4?
4-12.
Yep, I've got them finishing 4-12. I do have them having an upset though. Just because I know how it is every time they always play one team really, really good at home, and it has upset them half a dozen times at home. Can you take a guess on who that is?
North
Are you going to say the
Green.
Patriots?
Patriots.
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
Every time they go to Miami. I know last year they went to Miami and Miami beat them. Some reason when Buffalo goes down to Miami, they struggle. So you know that's their only big win. I got them upsetting Buffalo going down there because it's happened too many times. So I could be wrong. I'm wrong most of the time, but I went with it anyway.
I just now realized, Bunny, I'm missing week 1 game for Miami. So who do they have week 1?
Yeah, I told you I thought that there was something wrong with Miami. I caught it today and never fixed it.
Yeah, that's mine. Who do they got game 1? That'll tell me their final
Week
stat.
1, they have the Raiders.
I'll give them a win on that one.
So they'll
No,
have
Raiders. No, I will give them a loss. I'm sorry.
I'll have them at 5 wins instead of 4.
So Rizzo, I'm gonna throw one better at you. I've got them finishing 3rd out of 4th in this division with 2 wins, and they finish 3rd. I have them, guys. We talked about it all year last year. Miami has to do a 100% reboot. Quinn Ewers is not their guy, but I'm like French. I think you got to give him a chance here. We know Malik Willis does not have it. We have seen it multiple teams. French called it out. French knows him well. So it's not there with Malik. So what's that say about Ewers at this point? Miami just not wanting to give him a chance, or is he that bad? That's sort of worrisome there. But the 2 wins I have them. One, I've got them beating the Saints at home. I think they can pull that one off. I also have them finishing or beating the last place team I have here, the Jets, 1 game. So
I mean, I've got them.
got them finishing, 2-15.
I also have them at 2-15, but I also have the Jets sitting at 2-15. I've got them splitting with the Jets. I have them beating Cleveland in Cleveland. And I say that just because, I mean, the heart and soul of that defense is now in LA. The offense did not look good last year. I definitely think that the Miami defense is going to be the bread and butter of the Miami team. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up is, how is Malik Willis worth $67.5 million for 3 years, with 45 of that being guaranteed.
Dude, and they got rid of their GM too. Like, what's that say about their hire here?
Well, all of them came from the Packers. All of them, the head coach, the OC, the GM, they all came from the Packers, which is where Malik Willis was the last 2 years. So they saw him, behind the scenes, in the building, everywhere, and they saw enough to give him a payday. And I think if it's obvious that he's not the guy, I think then you see Quinn Ewers like, all right, screw it, let's see what we got in this guy. Like kind of what they did late last year in the last 3 games. They gave him a shot. But in this new system, you're also going to want to give him a shot too. But I don't know. They signed him to a 2-year deal too, so it's interesting. I'm not sure why they did it, but we'll have to wait and see. But I agree with what you guys are saying. This team's going to be bad, and the Jets that I'm sure we're going to get to here shortly are going to be just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I would be like the worst of Big Ben his last year with Peyton Manning's neck and the body of Jamarcus Russell, and could probably be the 3rd string backup for the Miami Dolphins. So,
not wrong.
He's already got the body of Jamarcus Russell.
Hey,
we can bring
body
Carr,
like a rocks.
Wasn't that Carr that had the flop career? We'll bring him back. He might be able to still play for Miami. Or Carr, Leaf, one of the two. I think it was Carr.
Leaf played for Chargers.
San Diego, yeah. So it was Carr that busted.
All right, moving on. Frenchman, take us away with the New England Patriots.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in New England right now. Rabels have been having some fun in all season. But besides that, this New England bunch is going to be pretty good. I don't think they slack off very much from what they had last year. It's going to come. We all know it's going to come down between them and the Bills. I think the Bills are going to have the slight edge just because of experience on the team. But May's going to have another year like he had last year. That bunch is going to be, they're going to be hard to beat. So, especially, you go into Foxborough, you go into Gillette, they're going to be tough. They always are. Got Stevenson and Henderson back. Then they add trouble. I hope this change of scenery for AJ, works out for the best. I hated losing him whenever Tennessee got rid of him and didn't re-sign him. But they added a big weapon for May with AJ Brown. We saw what he done last year with, not really a true one. So this could be a year that, New England, they get back to, their winning ways and might get them a Super Bowl again. So excited to see what they can do. I hope by the time the season starts that all this stuff with Vrabel's over and they don't want to talk about it, which we know they're going to, just because, it was headlines and all this good stuff. But I think I've got New England finishing, let's see. Yeah, I'm finishing 15-2. That sounds right.
Yeah, that's right. 15-2. You're on. And French, I'm gonna add. You were talking about AJ Brown right there. I'm gonna add. They added 2 more passing targets for May. Picking up Dobbs, Romeo Dobbs. That was not a bad move
No,
to throw in
that's
there
a
with
great
Brown.
move.
Yeah. That receiving core for New England's going to be pretty nasty. They also got Julian Hill, a tight end. He's more of a blocking tight end, but he has the catching ability there too. This team's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. I think that them and the Bills will be battling it out. I have them 14-3. I've got them losing to the Bills on the road. I have them losing, upset right here, guys. We'll get to them at another show, but got them losing at home to the football Giants. And then I have their third loss being, French, you're going to like this. I've got them going on the road and getting upset by the Titans.
Yeah, boy. I didn't even go that far. I've got them getting beat on the road to Buffalo and on the road to Baltimore.
I think
Late
the
the
Titans
year.
will pull one. Titans, I don't think is going to be as bad as not as bad as last year, but that's another show. But I do have them losing on the road to them. So Drake May, the front office is doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're building a franchise around this quarterback, and guys, we've got a team that unfortunately they're here to stay. I feel like
Dynasty 2.0 coming.
it is, and their front office is killing it.
Raymond, you brought up Julian Hill. You know, they picking him up. He's going to start the season on the IR.
Is he? I didn't know that. They signed him
already.
to a 3-year, $18 million deal.
Yeah, already got a knee injury.
That might be why he's not been such an impacted player going so far.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have the Patriots sitting there around 12-5. I think it's going to come. They're going to be 2 games behind the Bills. I think, but the 2 teams are going to be 14-3 to 12-5. That's how they're going to finish, kind of just like last year. To me, this Patriots team has a lot of changes, but a lot of upgrades at the same time. Biggest upgrade, obviously, being AJ Brown to the addition of that wide receiver room, like you guys were talking about last year. Drake May was throwing the outside deep ball at a top 3% in the league, and he got one of the best, if not the best, deep ball receiver in the league currently. That's a match made in heaven. Just offensive scheme wise, player wise, he's going to work out great. I may have tipped my hand for a fantasy football player that I'd look out for right there. But I just think this team's going to be kind of picked off where they left off. But if you look at it too, their biggest issue last year down the stretch was that offensive line. And we absolutely saw it in the Super Bowl. And they did a lot of additions to that O-line. They got Elijah Vera Tucker, a pretty good guard out of the Jets last year. They got obviously Will Campbell, who struggled during the Super Bowl, but we'll see what they do with him. They want to stick him still at that left tackle spot, but maybe move him over to left guard would probably be more beneficial for the team. They got Morgan Moses as well, and then their guy that just drafted, Caleb Lomu, out of Utah, a pretty good tackle prospect as well. Like, they're reassuring that O-line. They saw the issues that they had in the Super Bowl, and they really addressed those issues. So I think they're going to be just as good, but the thing that holds them back is that now they have a pretty rough schedule. Last year, they had the easiest schedule by far. This year, they have a pretty tough schedule down the stretch. It's just going to be really tough. I do think they beat the Dolphins. They beat the Jets twice. I think they sweep both of them. But the Bills, those games are going to be must-watch TV. And you guys already talked about a couple of other games as well that they're going to struggle with. They got the Bears. I think that's going to be a really good game to watch those 2 teams. a lot of those teams the two of them, they kind of swapped some players here and there as well. So that's pretty cool to see what those new guys will do on the new teams. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty good team. I just think they take a little bit of a step back just because of the more difficult schedule. But if anything, that offense, I think, is going to be even better. I think Drake May is going to have another fantastic year, especially with the addition of A.J. Brown and the other receiver that I'm forgetting his name. Dobbs, yes. I mean, that great pairings right there.
I like the additions that they've made. But we got to remember Vrabel and A.J. Brown was in Tennessee together. They know each other. They've been used to each other. But on that same note, is Vrabel going to be able to control A.J. and his bullshit? It's the best way I can put it. Yeah, book reading.
They almost had to have a talk, some kind of agreement. I mean, Vrabel had to set him down almost. I mean, I'm shooting at the hip here, but you would almost think that in an ideal world, Vrabel's like, dude, I want you to play. I know your talent. You're amazing. But at some point, if you're coming back, you've got to just stay quiet and play ball.
Yeah, and really being in New England, there is nothing that he should be able to complain about.
No.
I mean, he's got an upgraded quarterback. He's got okay running backs, which is going to lead them to airing it out more because your quarterback play and you've stepped up your game with your wide receivers. You've added a couple of pieces to that defense. You added Byard in that secondary. Like Rizzo was saying, that O-line, they went out and they improved it. See how quick it can roll together. But I think that they're sitting here. I actually have them tied with Buffalo. I have them splitting the games. I said that earlier. I have them losing to Baltimore on the road late. And not just because of what team this is. It's in the middle of the season. It is on the road. And for some ungodly reason, we are known to pull a strange upset. I have Tampa beating them at home this year.
That's week 10.
So I have them.
Mayfield, that's week 10. Mayfield's already going to be throwing 5 interceptions a game by then.
Hey, we're known for that one game of where the hell did that come from? And that's the one I'm picking. That's the one I'm picking.
Except last year. You never broke that losing streak. And we all thought you eventually would.
And we never did.
Hell no, it didn't. What was it, like 8 in a row?
It was something stupid. I mean, we deserved what we got. So, all right, I'll kick this one off. I'll do the down and dirty here. New York Jets. For the Jets, I don't really know what to say. I have them sitting here. I have them beating Cleveland, and I have them beating Miami. They are in the same boat as what I have Miami in. Granted, they have a better quarterback with Geno. They got him from Vegas. He is better than what Miami has, in my opinion. You have Breece Hall in the backfield, just like A-Chain. Now, what did the Jets do? They went out and got probably one of every position, hoping that they could hit something. They got Mika Fitzpatrick. They went out and got Tavondre Sweat from Tennessee in a trade. They went out. They got Tim Patrick from Denver as a wide receiver there. Got a few guys from O-line and different things. It's like they went out and never got a super big name to help them out. I think they are going to draft another quarterback. It's like you all said, it's going to be a quarterback draft this go around. How many times have we seen the Jets do this? I think, again, this is one of those franchises that is just cursed. And to be a Jets fan would be just as bad as being a Cleveland fan from since the 90s or the 80s. I don't expect much from them. I have them getting 2 wins. I do think there's potential there that they pick up 1 or 2 more. Where that's going to be, I don't know. I think I have them middle of the road or at their floor more than anything. So that's what I was saying there earlier. You have the top 2 sitting there at 14-3, and then you have the bottom 2 sitting here at 2-15, in my opinion.
Man, you give them more credit than I do. I've got them at 1 win. I've got them beating Miami at home. That's the only win I've got them. I disagree. I think in the long run, I would rather have Malik Wills at this point in his career than Geno. I think Geno's confidence is down. Geno, after a 2-15 record last year, I think he's just destroyed. He's bounced around. His coach left him, got his coach fired from 2 different jobs now. I think they're in bad shape. I agree. I think they're in worse shape than Miami right now. I mean, they got Brees. Brees is already trying to get out of New York. If he can get out, he's on a one-way ticket. So, with that being said, I look for him to give up halfway through the year. He's going to get his numbers, but he's not going to try to get full-on injured either. He knows he's got a career ahead of him. Jets got to figure it out. They got to figure it out quick if they want to do anything. But I've got them 1 win. I don't even have them beating Cleveland. So, last in the division.
Guys, I mean, they're going to be bad, but, I mean, you're looking at this roster, they have a lot of young talent. I cannot say the same thing about the Dolphins. I really can't. I like their wide receiver room. You obviously have Garrett Wilson. You just drafted Omar Cooper Jr., and you got Mitchell over there as well, who they got from the Colts not too long ago in a trade. I mean, they have a great tight end room. Mason Taylor, who they drafted last year, looked good. They just drafted Kenyon Sadiq, who's going to be a stud. I like Jeremy Ruckert and Jelani Woods as well, the 2 other tight ends they got. I mean, they have a stacked tight end room if you look at it. They have a great O-line. Their O-line is full of vets and guys who have played pretty well. It's just their issue on offense is their quarterback and whoever's calling the plays. And right now, obviously, it's not looked great for them. But you look at this, and the team is setting themselves up for the future. They know they're not going to go out there, win the division, and make the playoffs. They're out there kind of just like the Dolphins. But in this case, they don't need Geno to be, a good quarterback. They just need Geno just to be their quarterback for the year and then get to the draft and draft a guy. That's what they need. You look at the defense. There's a whole lot of young guys and then vets in those positions. You got, like you mentioned, they have Minka Fitzpatrick. They had a lot of young cornerbacks over there. D'Angelo Pons, they just drafted him. He's going to be a future stud. I really do think he's going to be a future, all-pro guy at a nickel corner. He's pretty dang good. Tavondre Sweat, I know he didn't work out with the Titans, but coming out of the draft, he was one of those guys everybody wanted. You pair him up with Mizey Smith, a guy who also, into the draft, looked like he was going to be a great guy. He's been terrible with the Cowboys. Maybe a fresh start, change of scenery, help him out there. And Demario Davis, a guy who has been a fantastic career with the Saints, going to go over to the Jets, joining Kingsley and Agbari, their other linebacker there, who played pretty solid last year for a Jets linebacker. That's kind of a backhanded compliment, but I mean, there's a lot of vets mixed in with these young guys, and I think it's going to help out in the long run. It's just coaching staff-wise. Like, how is this going to work out? Because last year, obviously, it didn't. I think they'll get to about 3 to 4 wins, maybe. I think they're going to split with the Dolphins. I could see it being a pretty good game against the Browns, and maybe they get a sneak a win against the Raiders or a team that, shouldn't play as bad as they do against them. My Steelers. We went down to almost – it came down to the last play against them last year. So you never know what you're going to get in the NFL. And these guys, I mean, there is talent. It's just it hasn't been seen yet at the NFL level.
Well, Jens all got them winning more than I do. I got them winning 0. Raymond, you hit on it. You know, Geno's, in my opinion, he's to that point. I mean, he's 35. You know, he's becoming one of the old guys in the league, and you know, he's had it rough. You know, he gets every time you turn around, he's going here, he's going there. I think about halfway, they're going to realize maybe that Geno's not the one, and they've got it. In my opinion, they've got a good backup that they drafted out of Clemson. They got Klubnik to come out of Clemson, and he can, you know, very smart. You know, we saw what he done at Clemson. You know, he's a winner. He puts his body on the line. I don't know if he'll still do the same thing being in the league now, but you know, I do feel bad for Breece Hall because you know he's another one that's going to be, you know, kind of like A-Chain. You know, he can only do so much. You know that, and you know, Bunny, you hit on it earlier. You know, load the box and you take him out of the equation. So, I mean, when they do play Miami, it'll be close. But I think Miami will pull it out on both of them. I could, you know, they could sneak up and get a win against one of them or Cleveland, but I don't see it. I've got them going 0-17 and having the number 1 pick again next year.
Which, like Rizzo said earlier, they will go after a quarterback again. And Miami probably will too.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Manning coming out. There's a New York team that's there.
Miami, hey, if you're going to say Manning coming out, New Orleans could be in the talk for that first pick too, if that Manning shows himself. He's got a lot of proving to do this year.
Yeah, he does, but there is a Manning there. All right. Next up, how about them Cowboys? Well, I'm going to turn this over to old Jerry down here. Give him his star, and Raymond, you kick us off.
I've got Dallas doing Dallas stuff. I don't know what else to say. Dallas is, as long as Jerry Jones is at the head of that table, and he is not going to release it anytime soon unless something happens, and not wishing that on anybody, but I've got them sitting here, finish the season 7-10. Could see them going 8-9. I've got a few of these games. Their defense sort of picked up a little bit. Not really that it's going to be that, like, that they're going to be that bad, but I've got them losing the opening game to Philly, got them beating the Giants, losing to Chicago. I mean, I think their first 4 games, then they got Green Bay. I mean, those could be, I think the Giants are going to be a little bit tougher than what people think they are, and we'll talk about them in a minute. But I've got them going 2-2 on their first 4 games, which I think would be good for Dallas. After that, I've got them with an upset because they go on the road to Carolina. I'm interested in seeing that Carolina team this year. We sort of seen them picking up a little bit of steam towards the end of the year. It's typical Carolina ball, though. They pulled off a game against the Rams last year, so I think Carolina can win that game at home. Couple games, like I said, could go either way. Is that Washington game? I'm sort of interested in that, seeing how Washington does this year. The Chargers game I could see going either way too, but I've got them splitting with Washington, and I've got them beating LA at home. So rounded out 7-10. Like I said, that's give and take there, but I feel like that's where they're going to finish.
I actually have them having the record you said, but flipped. I think they're going to have a winning record to finish 10-7. I think they're going to have a pretty solid offensively. They're going to be. I mean, we joked about it last year a lot. They were the Bengals of the NFC, where they have a great offense, terrible defense. I think the offense is going to be hitting on all cylinders, as per usual, like last year. As long as they have no injuries, that offense is going to be something you're going to be paying attention to when it comes to putting in your bets each week. Who's going to hit over? Who's going to get a touchdown? Right? Defense is where you start to worry about this team, and they have definitely helped out the defense quite a lot in this offseason. Just the one thing I'm looking at in this roster that is scaring me, as if I'm a Cowboys fan, is your DBs. The back end of that defense, I'm a little concerned. You drafted Siobhan Revel Jr. pretty early 2 years ago. He did not play for the most part last year, and then when he did, he looked pretty bad. But, he was thrown into the season pretty late, so hopefully he gets a whole training camp, and he turns out to be that guy that everyone thought he was 2 years ago. You did draft Caleb Downs. I'm really high on him. Everyone knows that. I'm an Ohio State guy. I think he's going to be fantastic for him. But besides that, Malik Hooker, he's been an average safety at best in the league. You got Kobe Durant from the Rams. They did not re-sign him. He was okay last year, but also the Rams had struggled with DBs late in the season. Is kind of what lost them some games. They were late, and he was one of those guys that was mainly at fault. So, I mean, you look at this team, that's really the only weakness is the DBs, the back end of the team. I mean, you get Deron Bland. A few years ago, yeah, he was good, but ever since then, he's been kind of Swiss cheese out there, But, I mean, they have solid linebackers. They're getting better when it comes to pass rush, and the D-line is going to be pretty good with what they got going on as well. Obviously, they traded for Quinnen Williams with the Jets at the trade deadline. Then they traded they also got Rashawn Gary from the Packers in the offseason. I don't think Rashawn Gary's going to help out quite a lot, but he's better than what he's had in the past. DeMarvion Overshown, he's going to be fully healthy this offseason. That's someone we want to look at as well. But this team, I think, is going to have a winning record this year. As long as they all stay healthy, they're going to have a winning record, finish 10-7, chasing the Eagles. I kind of gave it away, but yeah, the Eagles.
Yeah, and Rizzo, the one thing that I'm interested in watching here, does Dez turn into an A.J. Brown? French, you've had A.J. Brown. You've been experienced to that. I think that starts causing frictions in this offense because Pickens ended up having a way better season and making more of an impact, I felt like, on the back end of that season last year. Dez didn't say anything because they were really out of the playoffs already. I look for that to be trouble this year.
I don't know about Dez. CD might.
CD, sorry. Sorry, guys. You know what I'm at.
See, he might, but I think the one they'll have the problem out of will be Pickens. We saw it in Pittsburgh. Him and AJ is almost the same way. If they ain't getting theirs, they're not happy. And, it's one of those things. Hey, they're all getting paid to play a game that everybody wishes they could be playing at that level.
Yeah, but
whatever it is to win is what you need to do. And Pickens is not going to be that way.
I agree, but the only reason I think it won't be Pickens is because this wasn't Pickens' team. He got drafted or traded to this team. He's got to sort of fall in line here because this is CD's team, and it is always going to be CD's team until he loses it.
I think you're definitely right. It is definitely CD's team. If you look at last year, I'm going to come up with some crazy stats here that I'm about to throw at you guys. He was the most unluckiest wide receiver last year. That's not saying it. 22% of his plays ended either in a penalty or a drop. So he was literally the most unlucky wide receiver last year. And then that's also not counting the fact that he was also injured a good portion of the season last year, which added to George Pickens having a breakout year. Everyone really wants him on fantasy because he had such a breakout year. But once CD came back, George Pickens kind of came back to status quo, only got, 4 or 5 targets a game, while CD got that 12 targets a game like he usually is used to. And I expect that going into this year as well. But at the same time, when you have CD, George Pickens, and Ferguson, and throw in Turpin there as well. The speedster you have in the slot. I mean, they have so many great weapons. If I'm Dak Prescott, I don't care who I'm throwing to because it's going to be someone that's going to make an explosive play. And if I'm the Cowboys, that's how you should look at it. And I didn't even mention Javonte Williams, who came out of nowhere. I think this offense is going to be just fine. You do have two hotheads at wide receiver. One of them has been paid in CD Lamb. The other one is George Pickens. He hasn't gotten paid. He waited to the last possible day to sign his tag for 1 year. He might be looking to have a great year to set him up to get that $31 million market that we've seen these wide receivers get, like today with Chris Olave signing a $31 million a year, $128 million for 5 years. I mean, we've seen guys get that contract. I do think George Pickens has had a better career so up to this point than Chris Olave. So I don't know. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I've got them finishing second. I'm not there with you, Rizzo. They're going to be chasing the Philly. It's the Eagles to win as of right now. I've got Dallas going 10-7 too. It could be worse if the injury bug like normal happens to Dak, because their backup, they're going to be in trouble. If Dak goes down for an injury, you're looking at overthrow Joe. So, we all hate Dallas. I mean, Dallas, they're America's team, but nobody, unless you ain't got no sense, likes the Cowboys. But, they're always tough at home. So, I've got them winning a couple games at home that they're not going to win on the road.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with Dallas at 9-8. I'm kind of right there with you guys. There's games that they could pull off. There's games that they could flop on. I think their range is between 6 and 11 to 10-7. That's kind of their ceiling and floor for me. One thing that I want to add to this, I told you, if Pickens had a true wide receiver one, he would start to develop. That's all he needed. And you've had a whole year, them two, or maybe not a whole year. I don't remember when he ended up there. But you've had an amount of time with them two in the same building together. I do think that CD may drop a few targets, but I think that Pickens picks those up. I agree with what Rizzo said. Big year from Dallas and that passing offense. How that plays out for them, Dak being Dak, and then again, we may end up seeing them being a Jameis Winston type year, 50-50. Next up, the New York Giants.
Don't be hating on my
Rizzo.
boy Jameis.
Huh?
Don't be hating on my boy. Be hating on my boy Jameis. He'll roll you out of here. Roll.
Hey, we were a team. He's my franchise guy right now. Like 30-30. I mean, shit. We have a fucking documentary after him.
Man, he needs to just go be a freaking announcer. Dude, he's the best entertainer there is. If this dude would ever start out and stand up, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hate him, you must be just a terrible person. I don't know how you hate him. Like I
did for many years.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. I mean, 30 for 30. I mean, you're you're definitely gonna hit him after that. But just the person he is, man, dude is hilarious. I mean, even when he was with the Browns and he was beating my Steelers on Thursday Night Football, and he said what he said about the horses
speech,
and all that.
Man, that's
speech. Yeah. I was watching with my friends at a dang sports bar, and he said that. Like, how can I hate this guy? I mean, like, it's hilarious. But no, I think this team is going to be also 10-7, 9-8, right there with the Cowboys. fighting for that second spot in the division. They've made a lot of improvements, obviously getting Harbaugh in as coach. I think he's going to help them a lot. But he brought in a lot of Ravens guys, and I think we're going to see the same issues the Ravens had now transfer over to the Giants, that being blowing games late, not showing up late, and having some interesting offensive mindset with some certain players. I mean, you have where is it at here? I'm trying to get to it. I'm sorry. You added a lot on the wide receiver market here. You got in Steelers former receiver. Calvin Austin. You signed Juju Smith-Schuster, who played a role with the Chiefs the last few years here. Darnell Mooney, I think, is also a nice addition. But obviously the biggest one they got here is Malik Neighbors, coming off a massive injury he had last year. He's starting to practice. I know a lot of people didn't expect him to practice until like the last week or so of training camp. He's already opened up his practice window. I've seen some videos. He actually looks pretty good for all the injuries he did have with knee and ankle issues. And I mentioned wide receivers. I didn't mention they re-signed Odell Beckham Jr. It's a pretty cool reunion there to see. But I think they're going to be pretty good, I think. A lot of additions. The defense also made some adjustments here too as well. Obviously getting they have a lot of pass rushers. And that was a whole ton. Yeah.
Time out. Breaking news just come across. Deebo Samuel goes back to the 49ers.
Not surprised there. After the news, I mean, do you guys want me? I mean, do you guys know the news that just happened today with the 49ers? Ricky Pearsall, who last year had an LCL injury on his knee, the team told him not to get surgery on it. So when he came, so that he could come back in the season, right? Well, he didn't get surgery on in the offseason, shows up for training camp, and re-injures that same LCL and the same exact knee yesterday. And now it's going to be a season-ending injury. Well, the likelihood is it's season-ending. So, yeah, that was the news that came out. I was driving home, got that notification. One of the guys I was looking at to draft in fantasy football, because a lot of vacated targets left the room there. I thought he was going to get it, but hey, he's going back now to the 49ers, a place where he's been pretty good before. But back to the Giants here. Like I said, they're going to be around 10-7, 9-8, right there around 500. Coach Harbaugh will get you there. It's just taking the next steps for the team. It's a young team, obviously. Jackson Dart's got to take those next steps as a starting NFL quarterback. You want to make sure Cam Scatteraboo is also healthy as well. He had a pretty nasty injury last year. He's going to be fun to watch this year. He's also a guy you want to look at when it comes to fantasy. We know how Coach Harbaugh's offense is. They love to run the football. So it's going to be a fun team. They're going to be better than last year, but I still have them finishing around 9-8.
I've got them sitting at 6-11. This first year, Harbaugh, he's got a lot to prove. We all know how the Giants is. You know, they're going to blow it in the end like normal. I am excited to see how much Jackson Dart has matured under Harbaugh in all season. You know, it's gonna be fun to see Scatteraboo back. You know, he's a wrecking ball and he's going up the middle. So, you know, they're really not bad on paper. You know, they got that three-headed monster in the backfield with Scatteraboo, Tracy, and Singletary. So, you know, hopefully Malik, when he comes back, you know, he's fully healthy. Of course, they got Darius Slayton too. So, you know, they've added some weapons, but I just don't think that Harbaugh's going to do it in the first year. You know, give him a couple. Abdul Carter. Right now, he's on the injury list. So he's gonna have It's showing here that he's got a sprained ankle. We all know, on that defensive line and the defensive side of the ball, because he'll probably be a down outside backer. So that ankle injury is going to make a big difference unless he can get it fully healthy before start of the season. He probably won't see much preseason activity. But I've got him sitting at 6-11. Maybe Hardball's got them a little bit better than that, but looking at their schedule's not easy. You look at it, they play Kansas City, they've got the Chargers. Of course, they got to play the Phillies twice. They go to Denver. They got to go to Chicago. They play the Packers, the Lions, New England. So, their schedule's not easy. So, looking at it that way, I see Hardball finishing at 6-11 in his first year.
I've
I'm
got
right
a lot
there
of
with you.
upside. I've got a lot of upside, Bunny. Go ahead. I'll let you.
I'm right there with French. I got him at 6-11 because of this schedule. I mean, even from Dallas there at week 2, all the way down until really the bye week in week 14. It is week after week after week of teams that are going to be in playoff contention. And I'm even throwing in Chicago there for that. Not sure that Chicago can run it back, but you have so many teams. You got the Saints in there mid-season. I think they're going to pick up that win. But that middle of the road is just so tough for the Giants. And I don't know that the additions that they made, bringing in Harbaugh, like French was saying, is going to make that big of a difference. I really think that one of the best signs that they made this offseason was Isaiah Likely.
I was going there. Yep.
And, another guy that's been in the building that's going back, and that's Odell Beckham. I don't think that we're going to see anything of what Odell was in the past, but I do like the thought of him going back to the Giants where he kind of broke out. I never was over the top of Odell Beckham Jr. fan, but seeing him go back and probably end his career with the Giants, I do like that for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go opposite here. I've got him going. I'm like Rizzo. I've got him going 10-7. I know he was a little bit 9-8, I think, but I've got him 10-7. They do have a gauntlet of a schedule. I will agree with you and French on that. But I think I think they come out of that stretch of 8 games there at 6-4, 5-5. If they come out of it at 6-4, I'll keep the 10-7 record. If they come out 5-5, they go 9-8. I can see them going either way there. The reason that I think they will be mindset right in that gauntlet of games there is Harbaugh is used to this. He's used to these tough schedules, weekend, these gauntlet schedules. He knows what it takes, and he's going to have these boys mentally prepared to go play ball. And that's all you can ask from a coach, obviously, is to every bit of game preparation and to have your boys mentally prepared. And I think John Harbaugh will do that. His little speech that he gave that was circling around on Facebook that I seen, that didn't look so motivating there. But we know what Harbaugh's going to bring. He's going to bring a defense. And personally, I think the Giants, if they can get a tough defense, their offense is there. Like French said, man, that backfield, Tracy, who knows if Tracy ends up breaking out and having the year that he has without Scatterboo going down. I hate Scatterboo got hurt because we all loved him. I love watching the dude. Arizona State, we loved it. And he brings that heart and determination into the NFL. So I absolutely think that was a blessing in disguise to say, because now you know what you got all around. Singletary, give it to him. His 5 touches a game. You just don't know there with that. Not an over the top guy like Bunny, likes to reference there. But Rizzo said it, and my biggest watch with them. It's not Scatterboo. It's not likely. Nothing like that. It will be Jackson Dart and his development. If he does not get going, because last year he looked great at times, but man, did he looked terrible at times. And I think that's the youngness, but he has to come out of that. I think that Harbaugh can do that. I mean, hell, he developed Joe Flacco into something. I mean, come on now. I think he can do it. I think Dart, talent-wise, is better than what he had in Flacco. And Flacco and that defense led him to a Super Bowl. Won it twice. So I think they finished 10-7. I got high hopes for them, and I think they continue to get better. They made a big offseason move by getting rid of Dexter Lawrence. That freed up a lot of cap space for them too. So they will be able to move a little bit here and there. If they find the right spot in mid-season that they need, they may have that cap space to do it now. Now, on the flip side of that, they did make their punter the highest in history. So there went that money, I guess.
All right. Well, with the team that I think consensus between all of us is the best team in this division, Philadelphia Eagles, I'll kick this off real quick. I have them sitting at 13-4. Buffalo, I have them losing to, I think Chiefs early in the season take them. I have them losing a game to the Chargers that is on the road. I do think they slip up in one of those road games. And I also have them losing to the Commanders. I think late in the season there, they're going to have a few hiccups. I think there's going to be a game that they're supposed to win, they're going to lose. And there's a couple of those, and we're always going to say that, see that. But I've got them sitting at 13-4. And probably the biggest offseason move for them is getting rid of A.J. Brown. Departing ways with him is maybe best for the team, but you lose so much talent.
Yeah,
they lost a lot.
Go ahead, Rizzo.
Sorry.
No, you're good, brother. Go ahead.
All right. For me, I think this team is. I think this division is going to eat itself alive, kind of. I think they're all going to be close to 500. So I have them going around 11-6, just a game over the Cowboys in my prediction. To me, I mean, their O-line is old, and they had a lot of injuries last year. There's no one that jumps off the page at me besides Devonta Smith. Wide receiver wise, I mean, sure, you got Malachi Lemon, and you guys know I was high on Malachi Lemon. I wanted the Steelers to draft him. But besides that, nothing scares me here. I mean, you picked up Dontavian Wicks from the Packers. Maybe he's something in this offensive system. You drafted Eli Stowers, the good tight end out of Vanderbilt. Does he fill in for the A.J. Brown role? Because he's kind of just a smaller tight end. He's more of just a really big wide receiver. I mean, I really don't know what to expect with this offense. They also have a new offensive coordinator. I'm blanking on his name. But I'm really interested to see what happens on the offensive side of the ball now. You lost your big play guy in A.J. Brown. That wide receiver room kind of scares me a little. I don't really know what's going to go on. I think Saquon Barkley's now going to have a better year because of it. He's going to be getting the ball more often. Yeah, I mean, we kept joking about that TikTok we all saw. Saquon up the middle, A.J. Brown deep ball. We kept saying that last year. I don't think we're going to get that, obviously, with no A.J. Brown, but we're going to get a lot of Saquon Barkley, I feel like. As for the defense, you lost some guys here, but you got you re-signed guys like Jalen Carter. He got the bag. Obviously, great defensive backs as well, but just I'm interested to see what this team does. You signed Rick Woolen from the Super Bowl winning Seahawks. Obviously, Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, Keely Ringo. He's been solid. I mean, the defense is going to be good. It's just the offense. It scares me a little bit, but I do think they get the division win. That defense is going to be pretty good, and the offense, I think, will just do just enough to get the win in the division.
I've got them sitting at 12-5. They're another team, you know, their schedule ain't real easy, but you know, it's still, you know, they've got a decent road or a decent trip here. You know, you look at it, you know, they right off the bat, they host Dallas week 1. So, you know, they're going to have, it's going to be different with no AJ. But, you know, they will, they'll still dominate this conference. You know, this division will be, I think, pretty easy win for them. It just, after last year, we sit and we watch Hurts, and, you know, deep ball's not him. He'd rather tuck it and go. I mean, that's the way he's always been. But, you know, if he'll trust the line and trust his guys, this offense could be really tough. And then, you know, Saquon's going to get it probably 85% of the time, whether or not it's a dump pass out of the backfield or, you know, off the end. They do have, you know, Saquon's got a good backup with Tank Bixby. So I don't think they're going to have much problem. Let's see, I do have them losing in conference in division when they go to Dallas. I think that's that one game Dallas will sneak up and get them inside AT&T. So in the long run, they're going to finish still with 2 games ahead of Dallas in the end.
I've got a couple question marks about Philly. 2 things, I guess, not really question marks. One is, you guys touched on it, A.J. Brown. I think it was a good move getting rid of A.J. Brown. But you got to backfill it, just like anything else. You get rid of a top star, you got to bring somebody in. They forgot to do the second part of that. That's going to be trouble. That's going to be trouble down the long run. Me and Rizzo know that too well. That sucks. And it will bite you in the ass in late situations of a game. You have no go-to. You have that guy that can get open like an A.J. Brown, who you can count on. He's going to be on that 5-yard spot, that 2-yard out, whatever that case is going to be. He's going to get open.
God forbid Devonta Smith go into the stands and punch a fan, right? Right, Raymond? And they lose him for 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah. That punch was never thrown on. Yeah, we'll go with that. But anyways, yeah, I could get cranked up on that, especially with what's going on in women's sports right now. But anyways, we will flip the script there. But the other factor, Bunny, I'm surprised you didn't say anything. There's no Madden curse this year. So we're going to get a full, healthy Saquon back. The curse is gone on Madden there. So I'm surprised Bunny has not mentioned that yet this year. But I've got them not full out right winning the division. I have them tied with the Giants, finishing 10-7. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna drop them to that for me. And that is French. I can hear you. There you go. The game that where I'm going to get is they lose 3 straight at the end of the year. They lose the Buffalo or Washington twice and Buffalo. I think the Commanders always play them well. It doesn't matter. The Commanders play Philly well, home or away. It's a 1-score game. I feel like every battle with them. So I feel like they lose 3 straight. They are setting at 10-4 going into that part of the season, but that's where they mess up. So give me the tie with the Giants at 10-7.
Well, keep us rolling here and go right into Washington with the Commanders. And with you having them win back-to-back with Philly, tell me what your outlook is on this Commanders team.
I've got them right at 500. I've got them 9-8. Sort of the same Washington team as always. Of course, the question mark is Jaden. We know that. But we also know if Jaden's playing well, they do well. I've got them losing. I mean, you're looking at their schedule. They got the Giants, Packers, Vegas. I think they come out 2-1. They beat the Falcons at 3-1. I think they go on the road to Los Angeles. That's a tough one to go out there. They lose that. They beat the Bears. I think that's a big win for them. But then they turn around and lose to Dallas. Lose to Kansas City, beat Seattle, lose to the Lions, even with the Lions being on the road. So, I mean, I honestly have them here and there, but I've got one game in there that is sort of a shocker, and that's Minnesota. We haven't got to them yet, but I've got them losing a game to Minnesota that they probably should not lose. So that could be it, but I think their last 3 games help them, whereas the Eagles kills them. They win the last 3, of course, 2 being against the Eagles, but then they got the Cowboys at home. So I think they can finish strong. Up to that point, they're 6-8, though.
I got the Commanders sitting at 8-9, just below 500. I think the best part about their team is actually going to be their defense. I really do. You look at the additions they made. They picked up Javon Kinlaw, Charles Omenihu from the Chiefs, who's played a role with them. Caleb Von Chason, he had a fantastic year with the Patriots last year. He's going to help out. And Joshua Josephs, linebacker from the Broncos. Leo Chenal, linebacker from the Chiefs. They just picked up a lot of guys from everywhere. And I'm not even mentioning one of my favorite players in Sonny Styles, who they drafted at Ohio State. Can't wait to see what he is in the NFL. And that's Odafe Owe, another good linebacker who's been around the league. I haven't even mentioned Frankie Louvu, who has been a star on that defensive side of the ball for them. They picked up a lot of cornerbacks. I think this defense is going to be pretty solid, and I think it's going to keep them in games. The offense is where I have in question marks. Rookie year, Jaden Daniels was great. He was fantastic. Sophomore year, Jaden Daniels was not good. Not good at all, really. Injury prone, and even when he wasn't injured, he didn't look anything like his rookie year self. So he kind of regressed there. And what are we going to get now with David Blau as the OC? A former quarterback himself, backup quarterback in the NFL, coming from the Lions. I'm interested to see what happens here, but, I mean, he's coming from the Lions, and the Lions fired everyone on that offensive staff last year. So I'm just interested to see what happens there. Besides Jaden Daniels, like when he plays his best, there's no one on this offense that really scares me. Yeah, sure, Scary Terry, it's in the name. When he's on it, he's pretty good. But besides, I'm not getting scared by Bill Merritt, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, There's really no one out here. Traylon Burks had a
Traylon Burks, baby.
Yeah, had a flash in the pan in that one Thursday night game, right? He's caught that fantastic catch, but there's no one there that scares me in that offense. That's why I think they finished below 500. Unlike any other team, there's at least someone that scares me. This team, not so much.
When Burks come out of college and went to Tennessee, I had a feeling he was going to be the replacement for A.J. Brown. He had the size, just there was something about this guy, and he has never been anything in the NFL.
He had Malik Wills as his quarterback.
Yeah. And
no.
I mean,
He wasn't Malik.
No, he was Tannehill.
I thought, okay.
that is right.
I was close. I was right in that area.
But I mean, it still don't matter. He had more drops than he had catches. Then he can't stay healthy. If you look at it now, guess what? He's hurt again. So, that's the only bad thing right now with Washington is can they stay healthy? We've seen it when Jaden's healthy. Jaden could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he can't stay healthy. Traylon Burks can't stay healthy. So, I've got them finishing 6-11 with the Giants. I don't see Jaden. I know Burks ain't gonna stay healthy, so something will happen because Jaden will try to do too much. He'll get outside the box, get away from his protection, and he'll get hurt. I worked with a guy. He's big Washington fan. He's still at one. It's still the Redskins. It's not the Commanders, and it was never the football team. He's diehard red skin. But they're going to be them, and the Giants will battle out for that third place. I've got them splitting, so I don't see much happening out of Washington.
The thing about Jaden Daniels, though, to say what Rizzo said, he did digress, and you hear about the sophomore slumps all the time. But if you look at Daniels' numbers, man, it's going to be hard to keep surpassing that. he was putting up outrageous numbers his rookie year. He had a game where he was 21 for 24, didn't throw an incompletion till the fourth quarter or some crazy. 3 games in, he only had 10 incompletions. The dude was just unreal.
For me, I'm low on Washington. I have them sitting at 4-13. I do think that they are relatively the worst team in this division. They went out and got them another half-ass running back in Rashad White from Tampa to go with the other pair that they have. They went out Okanowo, tied in Tennessee. I do like that they went out and got them a couple of offensive linemen. I do like that in what Washington done this year, but I don't see this team producing a whole lot. I think you have some good pieces mixed in with some very bad pieces, and everybody that gets lost on any other team in between. And that's kind of how I see it. And I think Jalen Daniels, good quarterback, got really good potential to be a great quarterback. But I think he's set in stone where he's at. And the team that surrounds him is not going to allow him to show his potential. And that's the reason why I got him sitting here at 4-13. So that wraps up our AFC, NFC East preview this week. Couple of new segments that we're going to go to, kind of probably going to narrow it down to one. I'll keep it a little bit interesting through the year and mix it up. Tonight, I went ahead and pulled one of each. We're going to start off with Guess the Player. Again, I stole this from Moonshiners Racing. I really enjoy this segment. And for the preview shows, it's one of these two divisions that we talk about leading up to the season. After that, it'll be a mixture of everything. So you get 3 guesses, just like the other shows. I'll start reading off some stats, some highlights, and see which. So this guy was born in 1973.
All right, well, before you get too carried away, we going NFC or AFC first?
It's one guy for either one. NFC
geez.
or AFC East player.
Jeez. I thought you had one for each side.
No.
This is going to suck.
He played for 2 teams in the NFL. Give you a little slight hint. It was in the same division. He was drafted in 1995. He was the offensive rookie of the year from that season. He is a 6th. He is 6th all time in his respective position in rankings. This guy was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He went to college at Pittsburgh, was drafted 3rd round, 74th pick in the NFL draft. He was the first team All-Pro in 2004. He was a 2-time second team All-Pro in 99 and 2001. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler. He was the Bart Starr Award winner in 2006. He has his jersey retired by one of the teams. He is in one of the team's Ring of Honor, and he was on a team's all-decade team. I think Rizzo's getting close.
Yeah, this is good.
Michael Irvin?
No. So, let's see here. What else can I give you that's just not going to give it away blatantly?
Offense or defense?
He's offense. It's offense.
Oh, you said my fault. Yeah, my fault.
He had 484 receptions, 3,329 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He has 90 rushing touchdowns all time. He averaged 4 yards per carry, and he is ranked 7th in rushing yards for the NFL with 14,101.
Oh, I should know this. I feel like this is really easy. We're somehow not getting it.
It is a guy that you all should know. He was especially for French and Raymond, that 04, 05, right before we hit high school, he was a prime guy in Madden that you would want to have.
That's French, who his worst nightmare in Madden.
Shut up, Raymond.
It's got to
The
be
te-
Eagles. It's got to be. I'm trying to think of somebody who the running back for the Eagles was around that time.
He played for the team that he was drafted from 95 to 97. He played for his second team from 98 to 05. He is
didn't have
on
a
the.
twin brother, did he?
Oh,
I don't know.
No.
Tiki Barber.
Yeah. I know who. That's
Randall was his twin brother, Randall.
His grandmother, Eleanor, was found murdered with a knife in her chest.
Are you
When
freaking kidding me right now?
When he was 15 years old.
what is this, ESPN? What?
Had a near-death experience when the trigger of a loaded gun was at his head, was pulled 7 times but never fired.
Wow. How have I not heard? Have we not heard that story?
Has someone in the comments gotten it so far?
No.
No.
Jordan knew last night, but we told him he was cheating. It's got to be a running back for Philly, and I'm just trying to think of who Philly's running back was at that time, because they had a big name running back then.
Okay, Deuce Staley.
No.
Oh, God, I got it there, honestly.
I do like that pick.
Am I in the right era right there?
He played in a Super Bowl.
Trying to think of running backs back then.
Been like what, Marshall
Played in the
Falk
Super
era?
Bowl.
Been like the Marshall Falk era.
Oh, it's a Patriot, I think.
He recorded the second longest touchdown run in playoff history at the time.
Ryan Gwynn's here. He said definitely a running back. Hester?
No, really?
Hester, he had to be. Hester that's too young or too early.
Hester was 2010, 11, somewhere around there.
He played in Super Bowl 31.
I mean, that's back when you got LT, you got, or not LT, but LaDainian Tomlinson, you've got Falk, you've got, that's Eddie George. But, I mean, that's nothing in those two divisions, and I can't think any other.
He was in the playoffs and played for the Super Bowl in 1996. He was with the second team for 4 years that they made the Super Bowl in 98, 01, 02, 04.
So that's a Patriot.
So, yeah, I was about to say, he played for the Patriots.
I knew it was a Patriot. I just don't know who it is.
I'll give you a hint. He only played 3 years with the Patriots.
Oh, God. I feel like once someone says it, I'm going to be so upset.
So now.
It wasn't Falk by chance, was it? Because he got traded late in his career.
He played for a team in the same division as the Patriots.
So that breaks it down. Michael has made this hard. This is a Jets running back. I know this is where he's went because back then they were actually relevant.
But who the hell was that?
French is on it.
Oh my gosh.
I've had too many hits to the head since then.
Could you give us like an initial or something like that? Will that give it away?
I'll give it away.
The first initial is C.
Oh.
I'll give you a moment. The second initial is M.
Who is this? Oh my god.
I'm gonna be pissed when we find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you give? If I trumped yous on the first one of the year,
First initial C, second initial M. Curtis Martin.
Curtis Martin.
Oh.
All right. Did you look it up, French?
No.
I
I mean, I don't have my phone in my hand.
I
You
wouldn't
got on me
have
because my volume was up, so I quit getting on it.
I wouldn't. Well, I'm just saying I wouldn't have known it either way. I was tapping. That was my next. I was gonna tap.
I went with somebody that was relatively statistically there, but
But he also went with a team that nobody really pays attention to in the New York Jets.
But hold on, before we leave this topic, let's talk about one other name that was about that same era and running backs that we didn't mention throughout there when we was talking about Madden.
Nobody cares. That's the wrong division, Raymond. Wrong division. It's the wrong division.
Just saying, Rizzo.
That's the
Ron
North,
Bettis
not
was
the
a
East.
beast in Madden.
Shut up. Bettis left. Bettis right. Bettis left. Bettis right. Shift everybody to the left, and he runs it to the right.
And it's 1-on-1, and he just trucked somebody, and he was gone.
okay. So keeping it in the theme of running backs, and like I said earlier before we got on the show, and we'll try to see how we do at this. There are 10 guys from the year 2000 to present day. What is the 10 largest seasons in running back history since 2000? Who had them?
Derrick Henry, Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson's 10.
Like you're saying the
Henry
highest
was
rushing
7.
yards since 2000?
Like
The
for the
biggest
season.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for the
Saquon,
season.
Saquon 25.
Saquon.
Saquon, yeah.
I'm sure Christian McCaffrey was in there, right?
McCaffrey was not.
Damn.
Marshall
right.
Faulk.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
LT was number 1 on this
Faulk.
list.
What was that 27
06.
something? 2,700 and something?
I think so. I copied and pasted this. It's a little wonky.
Let's see.
Is Falk on there?
Falk is not.
Guys, we're forgetting about an easy one. Oh my god. I'm blanking on his name right now. It's so easy.
For who?
Edgerton
Who's Michael?
James.
Yeah.
That was
Viking.
that's Gwen. Ricky
Adrian
Williams.
Peterson.
Adrian Peterson.
AP is not.
Gwen commented Ricky Williams.
No.
No.
Is Bettis on there? I wouldn't think so.
No.
No. You're missing there's one team that has 3 of the 5 that you lack. Then you have one that's been relatively recent, and you have the rest of them's 05, 02, 03.
Derrick Henry on there?
Yeah.
Did we already say that?
French got that one. There is one that is active in the NFL currently.
Interesting.
I'm looking at the teams here.
I'll give you a hint. The
Saints.
team that
Saints. Camara.
Camara? No.
Green Bay's never had a running back.
They're all over 2.
Frank Gore, Gwen says.
No.
I don't, since
So
2000, what about Barry Sanders? Where was he at?
he is gone before then.
Okay, I couldn't remember what year he retired. I'm just trying to get through these lists, guys.
One of them, like I said, is an active player. He's had a really big year back in 21.
Was it Jonathan
Todd
Taylor?
Gurley?
Taylor.
Todd Gurley?
Jonathan Taylor.
I thought Todd Gurley would be on that list. That's for sure.
He had one really, his rookie year, sophomore
Yeah.
year was great with the Rams.
Taylor was on the list. The other one, he is known for a Super Bowl.
Known for a Super Bowl.
Known for what happened in the Super Bowl.
Kenneth Walker?
No.
Or maybe what didn't happen in the Super Bowl.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor's the active one. Oh, yeah, Seattle. Damn it. You just said it. Yes. I ain't here so I don't get fined. Beast mode.
Marshawn Lynch.
Lynch.
The other running back before that.
Oh God, what was his name?
I'm trying to give you hints without giving you the actual hint.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, who I do too. He was more of a speed demon than the beast mode.
Was
Right.
it Chris something? No.
Initials are SA.
Sean Alexander.
Alexander.
Ryan just hit it. Gwen hit that one.
So your next 3. So there's 2 seasons, one guy, or 2 different seasons is one guy, and the other one was the man that filled his shoes after he left. 02, 03, and 05. And 02 and 03 is the same running back.
He's gonna fill their shoes.
Electric running back team during these years. Not big and flashy names, but they were hot when they were hot.
Did the Raiders have some running backs there for a while? Dude that got drafted, Auburn,
Cadillac.
Williams, any of those? That's got to be the same time frame. If you're saying that-
I'm drawing blanks on everything on the last 3. Or the last 2.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Was it Jamal Charles?
Right before that.
Oh,
when the hell was it right before that? I do remember.
I really don't
Gwen
remember.
said Thunder and Lightning, possibly, but who was that?
PHLJ. Priest Holmes and Larry Johnson.
Wow.
Priest Holmes. That's who I was trying to think of. Larry Johnson, I would have never got. Priest Holmes, I forgot about.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
a good
that
one. I
was-
like that. That made me think a little bit. I like that.
Yeah. I'll come up with a mixture of these from week to week, but I will try to do where it's got the helmet, something, the emblem, the year, do all that stuff. I'll put it up on the screen, make it a little bit easier. This week it was pretty hard. I really thought that somebody would come off with Curtis Martin, though. But guys, have you got anything before we head out tonight? Next week we go into the AFC and NFC North.
I do. I got something. Are we opening signups?
Yes, guys. Signups. This will be posted tomorrow morning. I will do it first thing in the morning. Signups. We will have a Google Sheets put out on our Facebook page. I'll have information on TikTok. I'll have it on TikTok, Facebook, probably even Instagram, everywhere that everything that we have is. Will be signups for the fantasy football. Have a few questions on there, and you go on, fill it out. We will have emails sent out to you about when you're going to be drafted. We will put you in a league as those fill up for those days that you have options for. We will get you in there and get you going. So just be on the lookout. Try to put in a notification beforehand. We will keep everyone posted if you're in Group A, B, C, or so on. Again, this year we are going to do a signed jersey. We will not unveil it until later. So that will be out there for the winner. It's free to sign up. It's easy to sign up. And also all of the scoring has been updated from last year. So this going year, none of the issue that we had last year. It's all fixed. It's all set up, and we're ready to go. Stay tuned, because here in a couple of weeks, the way the shows are lining up, if I can get it pulled back up here, like I said, next week, we will be on Tuesday next week with the AFC and NFC North. Then we go to the South. Then we go to the West. And then week 5, 4 weeks from now, we'll go into our fantasy previews, getting you ready for the season. We're going to kind of have like a 10-team draft here. We may pull in somebody else. We may see if Aiden wants to join us for that week, somebody to throw in to have like a 5-team draft. Each person gets 2 spots, randomize it. We'll run through a couple of rounds, see how it goes. So we'll do that to get you ready for fantasy going into the 2026-2027 year. And guys, remember next week, Moonshiners Racing, Rizzo host, will be back next week. NASCAR has its week off. The rest of us will be back on Wednesday of next week with the Big 12. Guys, if there is a Big 12 fan out there that wants to join us to jump on, talk about their conference, drop us a comment, hit us up in the messages. Rizzo will be back with us on sounds like 6 with the Big 10. He's got the Big Ohio State there. We've got someone for the group of 5, and I think, Raymond, you said we had somebody stepping in for the SEC.
Yeah, Gibb. You know, we talk about him a lot on here. He's a big supporter of us. Shout out to him. We appreciate it. Yeah, he's excited, big Tennessee fan, so he's excited to jump on. It'll be his first appearance. Gwen, he's getting active on here with us this year. We're gonna have to get Gweno on here. I know he's got some for all you locals. I'll give him a shout out. Go check out the Bulldogs, Bulls Gap. He will be there. He's their football coach there, head football coach. So anybody out towards the Gap down through there, go check it out. Especially us North Green people. They usually play once a year, so go check out that game if nothing else. But Gwen, hit us up. And to add to what Bonnie said with the fantasy guys, Ryan is excited about Gibb. But anyway, message us, text us, call us, French, Bonnie, me. We'll get you signed up. get in touch with us. Message us on Facebook. Me or Bunny, we have control of that. We're usually on it if we see it, so we're pretty quick to respond. Let us know. Get in there and sign up. But the draft, guys, it's a little off. But if we do that mock draft or something, and we have a lot of new people coming in each year. I think we had 3 or 4 new ones that had never played fantasy last year. And then this year, I know that we're adding at least 2 or 3 more that's never played. So helps a lot of people out. And do not trust what we pick, though, because there's none of us that are consistent winners. I did win one last year, one of my many leagues. So I don't know if that's good because I'm in so many and only won one, or if it's good because I did win one. So with that being said, I just wanted to say, get in there, tell your friends, free league, signed jersey. Rizzo got it last year. He loves his, already got it hanging. So it's worth it if you're a sports fan, guys.
Yep. And I would just like it to be known that last year I did win the picks for the 2025-2026 season. I took home the trophy for the most correct games throughout the season. I do believe I done that also for Sounds Like 6. I am gloating a little bit, but it's only because that this guy over here on my screen beside of me is kicking my tail right now in NASCAR with the 2-game lead. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. And this is Quarter Blitz presented by Depot Street Sports.